You ever get that strange gut feeling like something just doesn't make sense? That's exactly how royal followers have felt for years regarding Meghan Markle's pregnancies. From vanishing baby bumps to odd media strategies, people have quietly suspected something isn't right. But now those quiet doubts are turning into full-blown alarms. A woman identified only as DL has come forward with shocking allegations. She claims she's the biological mother of both Archie and Lilibet. Yes, not just one child, but both. And she says she's done staying silent. According to her, she was recruited through a California-based agency, offered secrecy, and hidden away while Meghan appeared publicly in maternity outfits. DL insists she was the hidden surrogate behind both births. If that's true, it shatters everything. Meghan's entire image, the strong, independent royal mother allegedly targeted by the palace, begins to collapse. And Harry? He's not just beside her. He's deeply embedded in the chaos. If DL's story holds up, Harry either had no idea, which seems unlikely, or he knew and helped hide it. Now let's rewind. Think about how secretive Meghan's pregnancies were. No hospital steps like Kate, no press waiting outside the Lindo wing, no detailed media briefings. Just private islands and an oddly timed announcement about Archie's birth, after he was supposedly already here. Remember that? Harry awkwardly speaking in front of a stable, announcing the birth like he was reading a script. Then Meghan appeared 2 days later looking glowing and strangely slim. People brushed it off as a quick recovery. But now the question is, did she ever give birth at all? Then there's that viral clip from 2019. You've seen it. Meghan sits down during an interview and her baby bump appears to fold. Not wrinkle, fold. That clip fueled years of speculation, giving rise to the so-called moon bump theory, the idea that she wore fake bellies to stage her pregnancies. Back then, it felt like a wild theory. But now, with DL stepping forward, those online detectives suddenly seem far more credible. DL's story is astonishing, but disturbingly detailed. Medical records, hospital invoices, signed NDAs. She says she was kept in near total isolation during both pregnancies to prevent leaks, and then discarded once the babies were delivered. No gratitude, no payment, just silence. She says Meghan wore prosthetic bellies, rehearsed her public appearances, and carefully crafted a convincing illusion the world embraced. Until now. And let's not forget, when Archie's birth certificate was made public, Meghan's full legal name, Rachel Meghan Markle, was suddenly removed and replaced with Her Royal Highness the Duchess of Sussex. Palace sources said it was a formatting fix, but Meghan later accused the royals, claiming it wasn't her doing. But now, it appears to be legal positioning, because if she didn't actually give birth, including her legal name could have opened the palace up to lawsuits. Meanwhile, the internet is ablaze. Clips are being analyzed frame by frame. Meghan's pregnancy photos are being compared. One day she looked 8 months along, the next, barely showing. And let's not forget the Morocco trip. She told someone she was 6 months pregnant just weeks after previously claiming she was 5. A small slip? Maybe. But now it feels more like a deliberate manipulation. This isn't just about public perception. It's about the legitimacy of 2 children in the royal bloodline. That carries consequences far beyond headlines or Instagram posts. DL isn't hiding anymore. In her first interview, she looked straight at the camera and said, "I was promised privacy and compensation. Instead, I was erased." That sentence ignited a storm across media outlets and social platforms. She claims she lived in a private, fully staffed home outside Los Angeles during both pregnancies. No devices, no visitors, just seclusion. Her role? To carry the babies. Discreetly, while Meghan played the role for cameras. DL says the arrangement was strictly professional. Doctors visited weekly. The NDAs were so extreme, she feared for her safety if she ever broke them. After Lilibet's birth, DL says she never Saw either child again. No photos, no messages, just silence. And the sinking realization that she was meant to disappear from the narrative. Meghan had already filmed scenes, staged photo ops, and hired handlers to manage public perception. And then there's Harry. DL insists he was aware from the beginning. She says he even stopped by once, briefly, to thank her and hand over a letter. And here's where it gets darker. If Harry knew and still allowed a royal fairy tale to unfold around a fabricated pregnancy, that's not just deceit, it borders on constitutional fraud. The royal family isn't just symbolic. It's a structured legal institution bound by rules of bloodline and succession. If Archie and Lilibet's births were falsely presented, it's not just a scandal. It's a royal crisis. And DL says she's ready to prove it. She's agreed to a DNA test. She's willing to submit evidence, go on the record, and testify in court. No one saw that coming. Actual biological proof. Inside Buckingham Palace, the atmosphere is described as emergency mode. No official statements, no leaks, just deep silence. Behind the scenes, royal advisors are reportedly holding legal sessions, trying to prepare for worst-case scenarios. Meanwhile, behind the gates of Montecito, Meghan is reportedly focused on damage control. But even she may not be able to control this narrative. Her once celebrated motherhood story, polished by Netflix deals and glowing magazine covers, is now being picked apart as a possible illusion. That infamous folding belly clip has resurfaced. Fashion experts who once admired her style now remain quiet. One day the bump was round and high, the next day, deflated or misplaced. People aren't seeing coincidence anymore. They're seeing choreography, and Meghan's silence, deafening. This is the same woman who sued tabloids and regularly clapped back at media criticism. Now, not a word. No tweets, no statements, not even an Instagram post. Harry isn't doing much better. Insiders say he's unraveling, yelling at staff, avoiding friends, isolating himself. Some say he feels backed into a corner, not just by the press but by Meghan herself. One source claimed Harry even begged her to issue a public statement, but she refused, saying that acknowledging the surrogate would make it real. DL, on the other hand, has hired lawyers. Her team is preparing sworn declarations, a televised deposition, and even documents from the agency that arranged everything. She says she kept emails, scans, and birth confirmations. Her legal team is arguing that her rights were violated under California surrogacy laws. But the most devastating part? The children. If DL's claims are true, Archie and Lilibet have been caught in a web of manipulation, used as tools in a grand strategy to build a brand. This isn't just a PR disaster. It's a collapse of credibility. Meghan and Harry once portrayed themselves as victims of royal oppression. Now they're being accused of deception, manipulation, and possibly legal wrongdoing. And the public isn't just curious anymore. They're demanding answers.